Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to another tutorial on Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2020. In this tutorial we're going to explore how to create titles, or as Premiere Pro CC new versions call it, graphics. Okay, so to work with titles or basically graphic templates, we're going to switch to the graphics interface. So I'm going to click here and then I'm going to make sure that I'm on the default state of my graphics interface. You see we have a graphic template, essential graphics template. This is a new, I guess since 2017 available. It's there. If you cannot see it here, and or if you want to add it, since you are in another workspace, you can go to window and select graphics essentials or essential graphics, and then you're gonna have it. In this essential graphics panel you have two tabs, main tabs, the browse and the edit. From the browse you can add any of the templates available for you, and you can drag it directly to your sequence. We have to add a sequence in a minute. And the other one is edit, where you're going to edit your graphics when you add them. So I'm going to start with a sequence. I'm going to keep the standard one, the default one, sequence one. So now to start or to add a text or title in Premiere Pro, you don't have to go like before, create a new title from here. You just click the text layer, the type tool from the tools panel, and then you click here in the program monitor, and then you start typing graphics, or let's say new graphics panel, or whatever you want to call it, and then your title is created. I'm gonna press backslash to fit in my composition sequence. So now you see the first difference. If you are an old user of Premiere, you're not gonna have it added here like old title, or what the Premiere call it now, legacy titles. It's gonna be added only on the sequence, and it's gonna be a layer, or you can call it a group of layers, because we can add several layers to it, as we will see in a minute. And the text is basically, when you go to the effects control, is an effect added to your text. Okay, so this is your text. You can move it, you can rotate it, you can scale it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. So since you click here and you go to your essential graphics panel, let me just make it a little bit bigger and then make this a little bit bigger. When we come to this, we are going to make it large as well. So you see here you have the new graphics panel. It's a layer. You can hide it, you can show it, and you have almost all the similar controls that you used to have before. You can align it, or align it vertically and horizontally. You can align it to others. If you have something else selected, as we'll see in a minute, you can move the position of it, okay, up and down. You can change the anchor point, as you see here. By default it is on the left corner. You can rotate it from here, or you can scale it. Basically, if you want to scale it uniformly, you have to unlink this checkbox, then you can stretch it. I'm going to click this on again, and you can change the opacity by turning the opacity off and on. Okay, and also you have this is related to the layer itself. You have a control related to the text, and it's gonna work only when you select the text. You can change the font name. I'm gonna just change it to anything else, like this one. You can change the formatting if available. You can change the size. It's another way to change the size other than the style. You can make the alignment left, right, or center. You have all the paragraph settings that you usually have in Photoshop or on any text editor application. Okay, you can make it bold, italic, you can make them all caps, small caps, and so on, subscript, superscript, underline, and so on. Also, you can control the appearance of the text by changing the fill color. For example, I'm going to change it to red. Okay, you can add stroke if you want. You can change the size of the stroke. Here you have only outside stroke. You don't have inside or center stroke, just like you used to do in the old legacy title panel. And you can add a background if you want. It's going to be a color by default. You see, when you can add a background if you want. Okay, and you can add shadow. Okay, and also you have all the controls of the shadow that you usually have. Let's just make it white so you can see it better. We can change the distance of the shadow, you can change the rotation of the shadow, you can change the spread of the shadow, and you can make it blurry. Okay, you can do a lot of things here, just like a normal shadow effect that you would see in everywhere else. Okay, like Photoshop or even in the all titles panel. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna keep this. Let's just make it larger. You see, when you have to make it large, I'm gonna move it. Usually you don't make it this large because we use the graphics usually for lower thirds, or maybe it's for a title. So I'm gonna just make it centered because I'm gonna make it for a title, let's say, for now. Okay, then the nice thing about this graphics, on new graphics panel or whatever you call it tool, you can add several layers to the same layer that you have here. This is why I told you you can consider it like a group of layers or something. You can simply, while you are selecting this, click the text and just click anywhere in your program monitor, and you say, or you write Adobe Premiere Pro CC. Okay, you can select this and make it smaller, and you can make it centered like this, center alignment, and then I'm gonna select both of them, and then we go and align them. You see, as I said, you can do the alignment when you have more than one layer basically. And now I have this layer aligned. You can, oops, sorry, I try to move it using the keyboard. I'm gonna just move it a little bit down. I'm gonna remove the stroke for this, and I'm gonna change this color to, okay, let's keep it a lighter red. Okay, something like this. So now we have basically two text layers within the same layer which is available in your sequence, and basically you can add several other things. You can keep adding from here. Usually you can use the pen tool to draw, you can use the rectangle or the ellipse tool, or you can add them from here. You see, from the graphics or the essential graphics panel, you can add text, vertical text, rectangle, ellipse, or even import a file like a video or Photoshop file or Illustrator or anything. Okay, we are gonna start by, we are gonna add a rectangle from here just to show you different methods. You can add it from here basically. If you want, you can try this by your own. So I'm gonna add a rectangle. It is added. I'm gonna go to the move tool. I'm gonna just make it like this. I'm gonna scale it down. I'm gonna change its color to white. Okay, and then this time I'm gonna turn this off, so I'm gonna scale it like this. I want to make it something a line thing of rectangle. Okay, you can change the scale a little bit just to make it smaller around X. Sorry, it didn't change, you see. So I'm gonna have it something, I'm gonna have something like that. You can just click the line, or it's not a line, it's a shape, and then I'm gonna move it. It's better to just use, sorry, not the X, you just need to use the Y. So you're gonna have it like that. Okay, so now you have this graphic that is added to your sequence. Imagine I don't my sequence is empty now, but if you have video or any other things, this is going to be above the video. Of course, you need to pay attention to the order of these layers because they are very important. For example, you see this layer, the new graphics panel is below the Premiere, so when you make it, it's gonna below it. If you want it to be above it, you have to change the order of it, and then you see this is gonna be above. And I'm gonna just undo everything else. Okay, you can put this here or here or here. It doesn't intersect with it, so it's not going to make any problem. It's not going to make any difference. I'm going to select all of them, and then I'm going to align them to center again. As I said, you can add any other layer that you want to do. Basically, everything you did here, you can do it from the effects control. If you don't like to do it from the essential graphics panel, you see here in the effects control, this is your layer. It's a layer, so it has a motion effects. As we said in the effects video, they are fixed effects. They are going to be added to any clip, including graphics you add to your sequence. And basically, as you see here, you have a text, new graphics panel, and your text, Adobe Premiere Pro CC, and you can do everything you did there. You can do the transformation, you can do the text editing, and even more. What you can do here, what more that you can do here is you can add animation to your text. Okay, so basically I'm gonna animate this a little bit, but before animating this, let me show you something here. Now you have a new graphics panel, and basically maybe if you noticed you have a group called master styles here. By default you don't have any style yet, okay, but basically when you select this you can create a master text style and you can name it my style or any other name, okay, and it's going to be available for you to use later on. So for example, if I select this text, or if you add any other text, you see the master style is nothing added here. You can just select my style and it's going to reflect to the style that you already did. So this is a very good way, useful way to save your styles that you already did before, and then you apply it to other texts. So I'm going to just undo this. So this is how you create styles for future use in other projects or in other, let's say, graphics, not titles. So now how to create animation. Animations, usually you create them to your graphics panel from the effects control panel. So I'm gonna just small this a little bit down, I don't need it. Now I'm gonna just focus in here. So you can create a lot of several animations, basically any kind of animation, something similar to what you used to do in After Effects if you are an After Effects user. So simply I'm gonna just animate the position of that. So I'm gonna just make the text, let me just start and go to the second, number 2, okay, and I'm gonna turn on the stopwatch. This is my end version, or end location, sorry, at the beginning. I'm gonna just go here, okay. So you see now when you move it's gonna animate like this, okay. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other text. I'm gonna go to 2 basically. Let me scroll up. I'm gonna go here to the graphics panel text. I'm scrolling up to position, turning the watch on, but this time I'm gonna go the other way to that side, okay. So now when you play you're gonna have the text like that, okay. What I'm gonna do with the basically rectangle, I'm gonna go to second, number 1, and I'm gonna do a slightly different animation to my shape. So I'm gonna click here and I will go to the scale, and I'm gonna change the, let me do to the horizontal scale and move it that way. For now, if I'm gonna do this, I need to change the anchor point, so I'm not gonna do this one now. Let's just change, we're gonna do it another example. We're gonna change the opacity. This is the final opacity, and then you need to go here and make it 0, and when you play you see you're gonna have it like this. Of course you can do this if you want. You have to change the anchor point now, okay. You have to put it in the middle. When you click you're gonna be able to see it. You have to click this here. Let's change the position. You see the anchor point is still not in the middle. Now you can put it in the middle if you want. We didn't do it before just to save time, but if you want you can put it here in the middle, or you can move it from here manually, okay. It is almost in the middle, okay. You can be very precise next time now, and you can put it like this. And also from 1, what you can do is turn this off or on, sorry, and then you make it not vertical, sorry, sorry what I did, let me open this. It's not vertical, okay. It's gonna be for the horizontal, my bad. Click, and then I'm going back to the first frame. I'm gonna make it 0, and now you can scale up and fade in with this kind of animation. Now this is simply how to create animations using graphics panel. So can you save this as a template so you can use this animation later on? Of course you can do this. You have to go to your layer here, right click, and then you select this, export as motion graphics template. When you click this you're gonna save it. You can give it a name, let's say my title. Usually you are not going to save it my title, you're going to save it based on the title that you want to use, and this is going to be in the local folder, local template folders, or in your local drive if you want to use it or to take it somewhere. So let's just put it in my local drive, and I'm going to browse. Okay, we are going to save it in my documents. I'm going to select the folder. So now it's exporting. I apologize for this delay. It's something wrong happened to my computer, and basically, okay, so now the graphics that you did saved as a template, and now when you just go to the browse tab here, you should be able to find it. Okay, I'm gonna search for it. It is my title. Maybe I cannot see it because it's not within my template folder. I have to put it in my template folder, libraries. I'm gonna put, it's not here. So anyway, let me save it again, export it, and this time I'm gonna export it to my local template folder. I'm gonna name it my title as well. Okay, I'm gonna save it now. It's gonna export to motion graphics template, and now you can see it here. Okay, now if you delete this from there, you can just drag this here and you can add it, and that's it. You have it here. Now you can you can just go to the layer itself, the whole layer, you click it, and then you can move it, basically. Okay, this is your layer. You can move it anywhere, and you can put your title anywhere, and this title includes an animation. Okay, and basically you can create any other kind of animations that you want to create. Even you can use masks. So let us show you quickly how to use masks basically here. So I'm going to change my animation here a little bit. So I'm going to remove the animation from my text layer. Okay, I'm going to turn this position off. Okay, I'm going to lose all the animation added to the text layer, this one, and to this text layer as well. I'm going to just delete this, or you can just turn this off. You see now you don't have an animation to your text. So I'm going to add a mask animation to my text. So I'm going to go to 1. This is where my line appears. Again, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and then let's start with the Adobe, or with this basically layer, the graphics panel, the top one. I will add a mask, and now let's just add the mask and like this. It's going to be covering everything. Okay, doesn't have to be that big. You can just make it near to the end. But anyway, I can move the mask like this, or I'm going to keep the mask basically in its position like this. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to move the mask, I'm going to move the text itself. You see, I'm going to move it away, so it's going to be outside. So now this is where it's going to start, and then after 1 second, which is at 2, it's going to move up. Okay, so you see, this is the animation that you can create. You can create mask animation, something similar to what you used to create with After Effects. Anyway, it is, and you can also just change these things and make, as we learned, an animation, temporal animation, and make it bezier or smooth animation. It's going to make it a little bit more smooth. Okay, you can play around with the curves, and basically you can apply the same thing to the Adobe Premiere Pro layer. Okay, I'm gonna add another mask here. Okay, basically you can just move the mask. You can select these 2 points together, and then you move it while holding shift, just to make sure it is moving horizontally only. And I'm gonna move this. It's gonna move a little bit horizontally. You might see it a little bit slow because it depends on how fast your computer is. My computer is not that fast, but it's okay. So I'm gonna just put the mask like this also, and I'm gonna do exactly the same animation. Let me just move it a little bit up, and then at 2, this is going to be my last position, or my final position, let's say. I'm gonna turn this on. I'm gonna go back to 1, second, and then I'm gonna make it leave the mask or go outside. So now when you play, this is your animation. If you like this animation, you can keep it. If you like the previous one, you can keep it as well. Okay, so now you can add another template of this if you want in another layer, or after that I'm gonna press Ctrl or backslash. You see this is your animation, and the template is gonna be with this. Now well, this is why I added it. You know why I added it? When you change the animation here, it doesn't reflect to the template. You have to save it again. Okay, you see your original template is this. It is not reflecting the same animation that you did now. Okay, so if you want it to reflect, you have to save it, export it again as a different name, and you can save it anywhere you want. Okay, this is basically how to use a graphics panel. If you don't want to do this, or if you don't want to create your own, you can go to the browse, not necessarily the local folder. You can just let me just undo this, and you see here you have many templates that you can select from, lower thirds, titles, anything. And you see, for example, these in some of my videos I already use them. I already use the template that is available instead of just typing a new one, and you can just double click here and type your text as you want. Okay, and you can always change anything you want from here. Okay, this is just blah blah blah. You can just say adding graphics. Okay, or working with the graphics on a title. Okay, so you're gonna have it here, and you're gonna work with it. You can edit it, and you can always export it as a new template. As I always say to my students, animation presets, templates, and all these stuff, they are very useful. You can use them. They are very handy tool for quick and efficient work, but they are also a very good tool for learning. You can add any template that you like and go and investigate the controls or the effect controls and see how it's animated, and you will learn from them. You will create them or a new one yourself. Okay, that's it for the graphics template. We learned how to add them, how to delete them, how to duplicate them. Basically, to duplicate, it's very simple, copy paste, or you can just click, hold shift and drag, and you're gonna have two different versions of them. Basically, not like titles, same version of the same title, or what I mean, if you change this is gonna change. No, they are gonna be different titles. You see, I can go here and say working, okay, with the graphics. Basically, you can go to the layer itself, and you can move it up. Sorry, move the layer itself. So you see, this is working, this is adding. They are two different things. Okay, and we learned how to create a style, how to use the style for other project, for future use. Basically, you can try it for other projects. We learned how to add several titles or several layers within your graphics layer here. We learned how to create animation using the effect controls, how to export our graphics as a template so you can use it, or anybody can use it later on. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video and it was beneficial. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Have a nice day, and see you in other tutorials.